live. Yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
All right. Now, we ain't had one of these in a while.
Right.
But we have a mental health moment on this episode. And this one is Channing Frye.
I love Channing Frye.
Me too.
I love him. He was such a utilitarian player. Like, he could go anywhere, fit in, do what he needed to do, and keep it moving. Like, that's what I liked about him.
Was he on the team that came back down from 3-1? Was he on that team with the Cavaliers? Or am I tripping?
I don't know. You know what? I don't know.
He was definitely a Cleveland. He was definitely a Cleveland Cavalier, but I can't remember if it was that year or the years.
Because I know
after.
he was with the Mavericks for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't remember, but
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, but this kid, this man, he's just one of those that I always liked. Just good spirit. You could tell he was gonna do what he needed to do. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this mental health moment. A lot of times when we do these, we're talking about, people who are sharing their trials and their issues and what they're going through or have gone through or where they are or how they've gotten or, a better space and a better place. And a lot of time, I don't know why, a lot of it's about anxiety and depression.
Yeah. It's usually do too. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one is not where he's like been necessarily diagnosed with something, but I think the reason I wanted to spotlight him is because he didn't wait until it was, you know what I mean? Like he recognized early on that if he didn't seek that, I say it all the time, therapy is like a tune-up. Your car can't just keep running without getting a tune-up.
Right.
So therapy is kind of like that to me. So whether your tune-up needs to happen once a month, every 6 months, whatever, every 3 months, whatever.
Yeah.
But you need to recognize as human beings, we just need that. But especially when you look at the pressures that professional athletes are under.
Yeah.
So I say even more for them, but for everybody, I feel like that's necessary. So he is promoting a particular health service. I won't mention them, but he's promoting one because he utilized this while he played basketball, and he said that the stress of basketball and being a professional athlete and always having to be at the top of your game and always having to, you know what I mean? Because especially when you are that backup or you're that coming off the bench player, like you can easily be replaced. It's easier to replace you than a starter. So that's extra pressure as being somebody that's coming off the bench. And so he talked about his stress levels and how he noticed that he was starting to not feel like himself. And so he wanted to do something and he reached out. He said, and then it was that and the combination of losing people. And we know right now, as COVID hit yesterday, 185,000 people new positive tests yesterday as of 9 p.m.
That's wild.
70,000 people a day hospitalized. That people are losing, people are losing their family members, not just the COVID. I have they're my family, people who have lost their loved ones to cancer. We know of a young, listen, and these COVID cancer, none of this stuff is a respecter of age or person. We know a young lady who attended the high school that I used to work at and that Jarrett now works at, who just passed away from cancer. The young man who was on what's the cooking show, the junior master chef.
Oh,
Junior Master Chef, 13 years old. He just passed away from cancer. So the losses are real in our lives. And so for him, he had a series of losses for him and his family. And so I think between the stress of playing basketball and that, he recognized that I needed to just go talk to somebody. And so today's mental health moment is us saying, be proactive instead of reactive. Channing Frye is a poster child for proactive versus reactive. And that is why I wanted to spotlight him, because he was aware and self-aware enough to say, wait, this is too much. Let me go talk to somebody. So I appreciate that so much from him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Shout out to Channing Frye.
Yeah.
Because I mean, and understanding yourself and being self-aware is like the key to this. Because as athletes, we're taught to just go and, you know, put whatever else it is, try to compartmentalize. And you can compartmentalize so much where you are not aware of what's going on with you. Like, put this to the back of my mind until it snowballs into the, you know, just playing out in your life, which, you know,
we see often.
I'm about to say, maybe happening to a lot of, like a lot of these professional athletes. Some of them, a lot.
No, a lot. Yeah.
But shout out to him for like being so self-aware.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
On to the real.
On to the real.
Now, you know I love these stories, these Black excellence stories. Ken Griffey Jr., like, as a young Black kid who played baseball, was like the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, everybody wanted to be
because you didn't
Ken
see
Griffey
a lot
Jr.
of black.
Exactly.
You didn't see let's say African American.
Right.
Because you saw a lot of people of color play baseball, but you did not see a lot of African Americans play baseball, not on a professional level. Anyway.
Right. And then to do it to the magnitude that he did, it was like, you know, you wanted the shoes, you wanted to be like him, you know, you wanted that style. And so since he's retired, like, you haven't heard too much about him. You know, Shannon Sharp on his podcast, Club Shay Shay.
Club Shay Shay.
He had him on there, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I want to say. And it's just, it was good to hear him talk about his relationship with his dad and, you know, just, you know, why he didn't take steroids during that whole steroid era. Like, it was a real, like, for those of you all who are watching, like, go check that out. It was a real good episode, especially with someone who, you know, I admired, you know, growing up. But for this On to the Real, because like I said, we hadn't heard much from him over the years, but the fact that, you know, he and his family are now part owner of the Seattle Sounders, which is the new soccer team in Seattle. Right. Now, I think we've talked about this before, but there are some other part owners of this Seattle Sounders team, Russell Wilson and Sierra. Yeah. Sierra Wilson, I guess you call her. But she got one name. She's Sierra.
She is Sierra.
She got that off. Her, Beyonce. It's only a few of them. They can get that one
Prince,
name off.
They can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, not to divert attention away from him, but just to hear like all of this Black excellence where like we are truly, as Black people, seeing the benefit of ownership. You know, owning some of these teams and, you know, just continuing to take chunks bit by bit out of ownership of this country. Yeah. You know, it's amazing to see. We talked about Candace Parker and Candace Parker, her daughter, and Serena Williams and her daughter, like just a part of an ownership, group in LA.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I just love to hear it. Like, I really love it.
I love it. Absolutely. It's empowering. Because I look at it for so long. I don't know that I say empowering because I don't know that African American athletes really understood their power.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the leverage that they had to be able to put themselves in these positions.
Right.
And so it makes me excited for generations to come because it'll become the norm instead of the rarity.
Right.
And so to see them gain more and more and be cognizant of their ability to be more than just the athlete is awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So shout out to you, sir, Mr. Ken Griffey Jr. and family.
Yes. And family.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Feel good final thought?
Okay. So y'all know our criteria. If you listen to us or watch it is or eyeball sweat.
Mm-hmm.
This is a combo.
Yeah.
For me, this is a combo.
Mm-hmm.
This story is about Skylar Mays.
Yeah.
He's our feel-good final thought. His journey is our feel-good final thought. So for those who don't know, Skylar Mays, the NBA draft happened on Tuesday? Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
And Skylar Mays was drafted by the Atlanta Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the smile.
Right.
Now I'm going to go backwards and tell you the story.
Well, wait, hold on. Another part of that smile.
Okay.
It's pre-med.
Mm-hmm.
He could be going to medical school right now.
Yes,
okay, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
He could be going to medical school.
Right.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. So Skylar Mays grew up in Louisiana. Mm-hmm. And I hate I didn't write down his best friend's name because I don't want to disrespect that memory for him. But Skylar Mays grew up in Louisiana. He and his best friend, they became best friends like when they were 12 or 13 when they started playing basketball together. Mm-hmm. They went to the same high school for a year, I think maybe two, and then Skylar transferred to another school in Arizona, I want to say. Mm-hmm. And
Wade Sims.
When he was there, he got recognized. Wade Sims, that's him. Mm-hmm. That's him. Mm-hmm. And so when he transferred, he got lots of offers to schools, but chose to attend LSU with his friend Wade. And so they both entered the same year into LSU. After they got into LSU, they were mediocre. No, nothing to write home about. They came off the bench, not really, whatever. And I think this was their sophomore year. Wade Sims decided to go to a party with some other people and asked Skylar to go, and Skylar was like, "Nah," because this goes back to Jared's point. Skylar was a pre-med student, so he had a little more work to do than the average athlete.
Right.
So he said, "I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna do my work." So quickly, story goes on. They go to the party. An altercation ensues. And Wade tries to break up the fight, and one of the gentlemen that he was breaking up the fight from shot him point blank in the head, killed him. And so it was at that point that Skylar, his relationship with Wade's parents developed more, and he took it on himself because he felt like that was what Wade would have wanted, to become a better basketball player so that he could make it to the NBA. For Wade, mind you, he's a pre-med, so he had already his mind set up for one thing, but he went on, and y'all just heard me say he got drafted by the Hawks. So he was able to fulfill not only, I'm sure, a dream for himself, but a dream for his best friend. Right. And so I just thought this was a smile and an eyeball sweat story.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. These stories, man, hearing them and them being so tragic, you know, like life can turn in such a, you know, a quick instance. And you know, to have that motivation, like, you know, I'm going to do this for my best friend who lost his life tragically. You know, it's just certainly one of them eyeball sweat ones for me. Cause after I dug into the story, after you told me about it,
I couldn't help it. I cried the whole time I was reading it. I was like, "Oh my God, this is but
you know what? And when you text me the story, you said that too.
This one got me. So we got 2 feel good final thoughts, right?
2 of them. Yes.
What's the other one?
The other one is this Monday Night Football coming up will be the first all-black officiating crew to work on Monday Night Football, which is crazy when you think about the fact that we're in 2020 and we're still having firsts for Black people, but something to celebrate nonetheless.
Absolutely.
So one of my coworkers, one of my old coworkers, and I won't even just call her a coworker, like one of my friends who we worked together at Shepherd Elementary School in DC. Her brother was an NFL official. Okay. And so, you know, I got to hear stories about like what it was like for him to be an official and, you know, some of the stuff that he got to do. And so like, I just thought it was dope to hear about him being official. And I was like, I don't even see many Black officials in the NFL.
All I think about is Jerome Booker. Huh? That's all I think about is Jerome Booker because he lives in Atlanta, probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So but like to go from me feeling like, and this was like about 10 years ago, like I don't see many Black officials in the NFL. Yeah. So like there being a Black crew for Monday Night Football is like tremendous, you know.
Right. Yeah.
And just to still see like, you know, to still see first for Black people, you know, you would have hoped that something like this would have happened before, but like, you know,
it is what it is.
Yeah, you know,
we're gonna take the progress. It's progress. Right. Like regardless, it's progress. We're gonna take that.
Yeah. Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. So
for sure.
Shout out to this crew. I don't know any of their names, but shout out to this crew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and while it may not seem big for a lot of people, like this is big. This is huge.
This is huge.
Yeah, like your contributions. Like, I mean, but for them, it's like, you know, this is my job, and I'm just going to do my job. But surrounding around this, like an all Black officiating crew, you know, is another first for Black people, and more progress for Black people. So we salute you, gentlemen, and ladies.
And ladies,
sure if
absolutely.
I've seen a lot more ladies. I've seen a lot more ladies on these NFL sidelines. So
that's right.
You know, salute you all.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, show picks.
Show picks. All right. So I had one. And then I said, no. I didn't want to talk about both of them because I did not want to take away from this. So this is a show that comes on CBS called All Rise. Okay. And it is about a Black woman who is a judge.
Yeah.
And they are so creative and so that is why I picked this as my show pick this week, because there's a to be continued. Season premiere was last week, but the storyline, of course, they are unlike most shows that are just kind of ignoring COVID, they are including COVID as a part of their show.
Storyline. Good. Yeah.
So, as well as the protests that have been happening.
Okay.
And so this first episode it covered the adjustments that are being made within like the court system with COVID, how people are reacting to COVID, as well as the issue of her being a Black woman and her role as a judge, and is she able to be unbiased?
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's very good.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
The show was good already, but like this just took it to a new level. But they were the first ones when COVID first hit. They were the only ones to have a new episode. They only did one, but they were the only ones to have a new episode because they tried to do courtroom virtually.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a very good show.
I like those type of like court like dramas, like, and kind of police court. You know what I'm saying? Like
Law and Order.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, so but this is another level. It's really good.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna check that one out.
It's really good.
So mine is no F's given.
So y'all know what the F stands
right.
for. When he tell you who it's by, you'll know.
I caution to saying the word because my mama listens to this podcast, and she's not about to call me and
you're gonna be like,
wash my mouth out with
what's her name? Carrie Champion.
Right.
Her mama told her, if you cuss on that show one more time.
Right. Oh, and they just came back on, by the way.
Okay. Well, I gotta go watch.
Yeah, I gotta go check them out.
That's my girls. So yeah.
But for those of you who've seen like the promo, like, and you like, does he have on pajamas? He is doing the show from, I don't know. I wouldn't say, I don't know what part of the house it is, but it is like kind of like
it's
a
large
club lounge like area.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty solid stand up. Like, it's hard when you have someone like a Kevin Hart who has put out so much material, and it's hard not to compare it and say, this was better than this one. I try hard not to do that with, comedians or musicians or, actors. But this was a solid stand-up. I didn't think I was going to like it at first. Because, what we talked about, some of the stuff that's been, swirling. Like that. But, it was funny. I laughed.
Good. I gotta go watch it. That'll be my Friday night. That's probably what I'll do tonight. Like, just because, I know the preview. He says, Kevin. They say, Kevin, what are you gonna talk about? Your family, your wife, and your children. He said, what else do I have to talk about?
What else y'all want me to talk about?
What else did I have to talk about? So I said, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you clarified about the PJs, because I was like,
yes,
pajamas.
Right. Look, as soon as it cuts on and like the intro comes on, you'll understand completely like why he's dressed the way he's dressed.
Okay, so, no problem. All right.
Well, all right. We are at the end of another one.
Yeah.
Episode 87. Yeah. 13 more to 100.
Listen, we're gonna have production meetings and party meetings.
Right.
Yeah.
And toss it all in one. Just toss it all in one pot. Have one big long meeting. Because we gotta figure out like where we gonna do this at.
Anybody out there got any suggestions? Or are you willing to donate a space for us to have our 100? Yeah, we'll take it.
Know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to make some moves for us to like jump up by that time where we can have like a real camera.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, on us, and we can be nice and set up, and it look real super professional and folks.
Okay. Oh, so maybe on her, maybe it's a podcast. I don't know. Melissa did a whole like spiel about the camera she picked.
Oh, I need to go listen then. Okay. Shout out to Melissa.
Yeah.
Who kind of groomed us in this this whole podcasting space.
Lord knows we wouldn't be here otherwise.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
definitely not being
we love
seen.
you and appreciate you.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. For sure. Yeah. All right, y'all. So
but we love y'all.
You gotta tell them how to get with us.
Yes. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Yeah. Certainly hit us up on IG at Field the number 2 the Real Podcast. Hit us up on Twitter at Field to the Real P1. If you want to shoot us an email, just check us out and let us know. Like, for those of you who say you want to, my godbrother hit me the other day and was like, man, you got to have me on the podcast.
Yeah.
And you got to respond, because I told you, let me know, you know what I'm saying, like what your schedule look like and all that.
Yeah.
But our email is Field the number 2 the Real Podcast at gmail.com. And please go to our YouTube page. Like, share, subscribe. It's Field to the Real Podcast. Not the number 2. It's just Field to the Real Podcast for our YouTube page. We have episodes of the podcast, clips. We got clips of the Coach's Pep Talk. We got the few little clips of the post game that I've done. But please like, share, subscribe, comment. And we just, those of you who continue to support us, continue to interact with us, we truly appreciate it. Like, we truly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And yeah, like, as always, we love you guys. Peace.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.